If you spent more than 5 minutes looking at the tech world lately, you know that putting the words artificial intelligence in your pitch deck is basically a cheat code to print money. Or at least it was for David Fairfall. This week the federal court handed down a massive reality check to the Australian startup ecosystem, sentencing the former CEO of AI marketing firm Metigy to 9 years behind bars. And that's with pleading guilty. Now let's look at how this house of cards was actually built, because the gap between startup optimism and outright fraud is exactly where this story lives. Between 2018 and 2021, Metigy raised $39 million from investors who thought they were backing the next big Aussie tech unicorn. The pitch deck was great, AI-powered digital marketing for small businesses. The only problem, the financial statements were pure fiction. Fairfall was telling investors that the company was pulling in millions. In one instance, he claimed May 2020 revenue was $750,000. The reality, they made $1,083.16. He didn't just massage the numbers, he doctored bank statements and fabricated revenue to keep the venture capital flowing. And what did he do with that cash? In late 2021, he gave himself a $7.7 million director's loan to buy luxury real estate, included house on Sydney's Lower North Shore and a weekender in Kangaroo Valley. It is a masterclass in how not to run a company, but it also highlights two massive opposing truths about the market right now. First, the positive. The fact that ASIC investigated this, brought in the federal prosecutors and secured a 9-year sentence makes you say, wow, this could be applied a lot more broadly in all markets. Imagine if regulators brought in the exact same hammer down on every corporate board, crypto project, or mining explorer that cooks the books. If directors knew that fabricating numbers meant losing their luxury weekenders and spending their 60s in a concrete cell, corporate governance across the entire ASX would clean up overnight. But then there is the negative reality of the startup world. Capital raising is speculative and based on forecast returns, which makes it 100% misleading since no one has a crystal ball. Venture capital practically demands that founders hallucinate massive financial returns. You are forced to draw a chart that goes up and to the right, promising investors that you'll capture 50% of a multi-billion-dollar market. The entire ecosystem is built on pretending you know what your revenue will be in 5 years, which creates the very real temptation for founders to fake it until they make it. When a startup's actual revenue is only 0.14% of its forecast revenue, which was the case for Metigy in May 2020, no amount of venture capital can outrun the cash burn. David Fairfall convinced himself that because his product was so good that the ends justified the means, and he thought that money would eventually roll in and everyone would be paid back. But the federal court didn't buy it, and neither should we. What do you think? Is a 9-year sentence fair warning to corporate Australia, or is entire venture capital model fundamentally broken? Let me know in the comments. Links in the description below, and thanks for watching.